Sorry. Hey guys, it's Princess Gamer and welcome back to my channel. Wow, second video. Woohoo!
I'm King Sway. How you doing?
Today we're doing Aang versus Edward Elric. Avatar versus Full Metal Alchemist. Death battle!
What's your prediction? Who you think winning?
Aang!
Why?
Kyoshi.
You think Yoshi's gonna take him over and
Yep.
just... Okay.
Yang Chen would probably take over too.
I'm gonna go with Aang as well, only because I watched both series, and while useful, I haven't seen transmutations do powerful things like the way I've seen bending do. Like, yeah, you can poof out a cannon and whatnot, or change something, but the cannon can be dodged, and I can just airbend or firebend, you know what I mean?
Or earth or water. And if Katara taught him what Hama taught her, he can literally pull water out of the air, which I don't think she taught him that though.
The moisture in the air to create water or
Yep.
flowers.
Yep. Whatever's around. Hama's evil.
Have
That
you
is
heard of
super
hymns?
dark.
They're all about making you
They're
look
supposed
and
to be.
feel good.
Thanks to science,
Honestly,
baldness
that's
can
a
be
good show.
optional because Hims is here to help. 4hims.com is your one-stop solution for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men.
Get started with the complete hair kit for just $5 right now while supplies last and
We
subject to
can't
doctor
control
approval.
who
See their
sponsors
website
them.
for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to another doctor or pharmacy.
So go to 4hims.com/deathbattle. That's FORHIMS.com/deathbattle.
Or hymns.com/deathmetal.
Rooster tight. Do roosters even have teeth?
No.
The elements make up every aspect of the world we live in,
Shit
and
is
no
small
average
growl would
person
help
can tame them.
break up.
But somehow
stuff
these
inside.
kids can master them with a vengeance.
Like Aang, the Avatar.
And Edward Elric, the Full Metal Alchemist. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Fine.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Water,
Paku,
earth,
Roku's teacher,
fire,
Azula,
air.
Aang.
Heart!
Once the four nations lived in harmony, and some of their citizens
Captain
could even learn to
Planet, he's
bend
a
their
hero.
nation's
Yang
elements.
Chen!
But only the Avatar could master
Roku?
all four, and it's their duty to protect the balance between these nations.
And since there's always gotta be an avatar around, a
Boy
new
in
one
the
is
Iceberg,
born whenever the
very
last
first
one dies.
episode.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Attempting to conquer the other
I'm
three
guessing that's
nations,
Sozin's
the Avatar
army.
would inevitably be their
Ozai.
greatest obstacle.
Man, they'd even go after a kid?
Living among the air nomads, Aang was an energetic and dutiful
He's a
12
whole
years
foot shorter
old
than I
when
am.
he learned of his destiny. He was the
I'm
newest
taller than
incarnation
him.
of the Avatar.
But he
I'll
totally
find out
wussed out,
Avatar.
ran away from home, and got frozen in ice for 100 years. What the hell? That's not what I'd do if I found out I was an awesome elemental badass. I'd definitely find a way to make money off that.
Boomstick, he's 12. But running away actually saved his life, as the Fire Nation knew the next Avatar would be an air nomad
Yatsu.
and slaughtered them all in a horrific surprise attack.
But the poor kid wouldn't be stuck in ice forever. He was eventually rescued by some new friends and began his quest to learn the other elements and save the world.
Suki.
And as an air nomad, he can really bend the wind to his will.
Run, of course.
He can use air bending to create whirlwinds and tornadoes or
Hey,
slice
that
through
was Jet in
solid
the
stone.
game.
And he can fly.
Boston
Whee!
said.
Well, it's not exactly
Oh,
flying.
that's when they went to the
What he
Northern Air
actually does
Temple.
is manipulate the air currents to keep
And they
aloft.
found out that
That's
that
why he
keeps
carries a
making
glider,
weapons for the Fire
complete with
Nation.
snacks.
Oh, that's the day of Black Sun, aka when they invaded the Fire
I'm
Nation.
sure that'll come in handy.
You did a good
Whatever,
job
if it
covering
looks
this
like a
up.
duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Or I guess the flying avatar guy.
But ducks actually can fly. Anyway,
Yeah,
Aang
but
can
it
use
could be
air
more
in
than
pretty
just
much
flying.
every aspect of his life. Like for shields, increasing his
pirates.
speed, improving agility, adjusting his body temperature, and
That's
even
when they found
focusing his
the-
breath to
the
use
Northern
as an
Water
attack.
Tribe.
After he learned waterbending from
Paku.
Paku and Katara, Aang can make whips, knives, and literal tsunamis. Hey, I can do that too. Just give me a pool and watch this cannonball fly. Does that mean I'm a waterbender?
Sure. Waterbenders can also manipulate steam and ice.
Just like how I, the great waterbender Boomstick the Wet, will use my powers to swim through this frozen block.
You what?
Yeah, waterbending 101. You can be jealous.
Oh wow,
Okay.
I'm just bursting with envy.
Bending powers
Momo is very
activate! Ah!
Look, if he didn't tell Momo to go on, Momo would have ran that fade.
Ah!
Yes, he would
Success!
have.
He would have ran that fade with Ozai.
Waterbending
Momo would've been like, "What's
requires
really
a
good?"
nearby source of water to use, like a
I feel
pond
the main
or
more
a
it's like
full bog.
ATLA.
The
If
same
Momo
goes
had a
for
gun,
earthbending,
them taking the
which
gun
Aang
away from
learned from his
Momo.
mentor Toph.
Earthbending is all about throwing rocks at people and a bunch of other cool
Haru,
stuff,
when he
like
got
making
arrested.
walls and earthquakes and causing the ground to swallow you up.
He went into
Which
the Avatar
is
state for that
kind of
one.
creepy, actually.
Last but certainly
He tried
not
to
least,
weaponize him.
Aang learned the
Yep.
art of
Zuko!
firebending from his longtime rival, Prince Zuko. Unlike the other arts, firebenders can actually create
Spoke
fire
to
to use
Zuko
at
and
will.
Azula.
Firebending
as
is
his
so
Kyoshi
goddamn powerful.
warrior.
It's even got the
Wait,
deadliest
no.
bending technique of all,
Iroh.
shooting lightning.
Well, only the most advanced firebenders can cast lightning, which is usually an instant kill move. While Aang never learned the move itself, he has learned how to redirect it through his body.
But even after learning the 4 elements, Aang got to meet one last master bender.
The
Who taught
lion
him the art of
turtle.
manipulating a person's life energy, the purest form of bending.
It's super dangerous though, and one mistake could tear up Aang's soul.
And with it, Aang defeated the Fire Lord and brought peace to the world at large.
Well, with that and with his super form, the Avatar State.
In the Avatar state, Aang's bending abilities grow immensely powerful.
Why?
This is because the Avatar state lets Aang draw upon the power
Whenever I
and
see that
wisdom
scene,
of
that's all
all
I
previous
remember.
Avatar incarnations. Though it is
Roku,
extremely risky,
Kyoshi,
as dying
and
while in the Avatar state
Sure.
ends the cycle of reincarnation permanently.
I saw him.
Why would he care if he's dead anyway? Whatever. The coolest thing about the Avatar State is it makes you glow like this. Behold!
die in it, The Avatar ceased
How are
to
you
exist.
doing that?
Oh, I drank a bunch of glow sticks.
You need to go to the doctor, like right now.
My liver's processed way worse than this.
Well, with or without the Avatar state, Aang is
That's
plenty
what Boston
powerful.
said when he went
has
up
the
the wall.
ability to move
Yeah.
gigantic
And
stone
saying-
columns and even carve canyons around an entire city.
Not only has he survived hits from earthbending kings and massive explosions, he threw this
That's my blank.
gigantic column of rock at the
Boomy,
Fire Lord.
Zuko,
To get the column's
he
mass,
survived
we compared
Boomy, he
Aang's height
survived
against
Zuko,
it and determined it
Toph,
must weigh 9,500 tons.
Aang's super
Oh,
fast too.
fine,
With
please.
airbending, he can run on water.
Which, given his size, requires a movement speed of well over 67 miles per hour.
He used airbending to block a giant
Sparky,
column
Sparky,
destroying
Boom Man!
explosive attack
Combustion.
from the best named character on the show, Combustion Man.
And he's proven he could redirect lightning from the Fire Lord himself. Taking into
Which
account
is
the distance
actually
between
based
them and
off
how far
of
Aang's arm had to
waterbending.
move to catch the lightning, he would
technique,
have to react
the
at
lightning
least
redirecting is a
155
technique
times
that
faster than
Iroh,
sound.
He is
himself
pretty
first
unused to
than water.
violence, though. I mean, he's a vegetarian pacifist for crying out loud. But while he may seem like just a kid, Aang still saved the world and led it into a peaceful future. To him, bending is elementary.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Alchemists of old once tried to turn lead into gold with not great results. But in the country
run
of
strong enough
Amestris,
current
the
through-
ancient
from,
science of
into
alchemy
lead,
is actually possible
turns
by
to
using
gold.
the Earth's natural energy to reshape the molecular structure of various objects.
And by drawing a circle
Saying
thingy.
that.
A transmutation circle,
I'm
which
not gonna
most
try it.
alchemists use except for the youthful prodigy, Edward Elric.
Oh, what a little badass.
Careful, Boomstick, he's a bit touchy about his size.
I
Hey,
would be
if
too.
I lost my mom like he did, I'd get mad at the little stuff too. But Ed and his brother Alphonse figured they could bring her back with alchemy. So they went for it. But things went south real fast.
Truth.
You know how people say they'd give an arm and a leg for something? Well, Ed literally did, and poor Al lost his whole body. Luckily, Ed managed to stick his brother's soul in a suit of armor. But still, yikes.
This horrible experience has forever marked the two brothers. No one is meant to transmute the human soul, and the boys were lucky just to escape with their lives.
But he got something good out of it, like super secret knowledge, including how to do alchemy without a circle thingy. He just has to clap instead. So, worth it?
With these new abilities, Ed and Alphonse began their quest to restore their bodies. Specifically, they sought the incredible power of a Philosopher's Stone, believing it to be their only chance. Eventually, Ed joined the military, and thanks to his amazing potential, he was named by the Fuhrer the Full Metal Alchemist.
What? Adolf Hitler?
Nah, it's just Bradley. He's okay.
No, he's
Until
not.
he isn't.
Spoilers! Also, since Ed lost a couple limbs, he got them replaced with automail, kinda like my leg.
Automail is made from incredibly durable metal, ranging from his original steel one, to a gas-powered one, to his best version consisting of a mix of aluminum and carbon. Apart from being durable metal prosthetics, Ed's automail limbs function just like normal ones. He can even reshape his arm as a weapon.
So he can turn it into swords and saws and stuff, increase its durability by hardening its makeup, or turn it into an umbrella. Ah, truly a limb of many talents.
But at the end of the day, Ed's true talent lies not in sword fighting or umbrella holding, but the art of alchemy.
He can do all sorts of crazy things with all the elements. He can basically make anything he wants, like spears and shields.
So long as he follows the rule of equivalent exchange. Anything created with alchemy must have a source of equal value, and cannot be made fundamentally different. For example, lead can be molded into a statue, but it cannot be turned into water. Other than that, there are 3 principles needed to use alchemy well. Comprehension,
Which means you gotta understand what the thing you're using is made of.
destruction,
Breaking stuff down.
and reconstruction.
Putting stuff back together.
Ed is only limited by the materials at hand and his imagination. At his full potential, he can do almost anything. He can purify water, create ammonium gas from ammonium nitrate, repair entire houses, and transform a gun into a trumpet.
Don't you ever try and do that with any of my guns. Anyway, Ed's also learned destruction alchemy, which does exactly what you think it does, make a big ol' kaboom. Ed's used it to destroy stuff like automail, but it can also be used to explode people's heads.
So, using destruction
not gonna
alchemy,
let you
Ed
have
should
that.
be able to destroy something
That's
like
Alchemist,
this
that's not,
on a molecular level.
Ha!
That's not chi.
Or you could just do that.
Anyway,
If you
with
don't know
all of
what
his
I'm talking about, I'm
abilities,
talking
Ed
about
has
player
done some
gaming.
incredibly impressive things.
Not only has he blocked gunfire from a Gatling gun after it started firing, he's dodged a pistol from nearly point-blank range, and his automail arm even took a bite from a lion-headed chimera. It was totally fine.
Assuming this chimera
It has
a
the abilities
similar
of the
bite
Avatar,
force
basically,
to
on
that of
a
a
ve-
real
on a
lion.
very weaker
that
scale.
means Ed's
But if
arm
you're-
stood up to a
if-
force of
you
1,000
can manipulate
pounds per square inch.
the
He's
elements.
created a gigantic cannon and then
Yeah,
survived
1
that
cubic
cannon
foot, but you're
exploding
limited
while he
by
was
your
standing on it.
imagination
And
with
then he
that.
survived being on top of a huge boulder exploding too.
We can measure the boulder's explosion against Ed's size.
What are you
to
gonna
get an
do, kill the
approximate
Earth
energy
Queen?
output. With a radius of
Yes.
36 feet, this blast must have been equivalent to over 100 tons of TNT.
How's that for equivalent exchange, bitches? He also survived an explosion that took out most of a 10-story building.
Even apart from being tough, Ed has shown
Yeah,
considerable
that's
strength
this
when
one
using
fly that
alchemy.
keeps.
Like when he created a gigantic golem to crush his opponent.
By measuring the size of the stone golem's thumb, comparing it to the size of the average human's thumb, and using that scale to estimate the size of the golem, that gives us an estimated weight of over 3,000 metric tons.
All this without any Philosopher's Stone, because it turns out those things are really, really messed up.
Right. Philosopher's Stones are extremely powerful and can be used in many different ways. Kimberly the Crimson Lotus Alchemist, for example, used one to create a massive explosion equal to 157 kilotons of TNT. However, it turns out that these stones are composed of imprisoned human souls. So Ed and Al vow to avoid them on principle. Although Ed can boost his alchemic power in a similar manner by drawing on his own life force, increasing his potential at the cost of shortening his lifespan. But that's what Ed ultimately had to learn, what it truly means to let something go. And so he found another way to revive Al's body, sacrificing his own power for the sake of family.
I remember that.
Aw, what a nice guy.
That's when he
But
goes,
all in
"Leave me
all,
alone,
so
leave."
long as Ed knows
Doors
what he's
around
trying
back,
to
go get your
transmute,
brother.
he's an amazing force to be reckoned with.
Now let's go home. Together.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, thanks to Blue Apron, I've become a food bender.
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the U.S.
Choose your meals each week, get the ingredients delivered to your doorstep, and whip up a meal using the easy-to-follow directions provided.
It's a great way to get fantastic meals without having to worry about all that tedious prep work cooking at home usually requires.
And if you jump in now, you'll get some delicious summer choices like juicy burgers and tomato salsa.
Personally, this has been a fantastic way to get legitimately good meals into my busy weekly routine.
My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and delicious meals with my own hands. You guys really need to try it out.
It's pretty nice coming home knowing I'll have a delicious meal I can whip up with ease. To start making delicious, brag-worthy meals at home without the hassle, try Blue Apron.
Check out this week's menu and get $60 off at blueapron.com/battle. That's blueapron.com/battle.
Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Alpha posters.
Sorry, Momo. You're just too little.
Little? Who are you calling a pipsqueak, you stupid hairless kid?
Nobody?
I'll show you!
Twinkle Toes.
You know, there are actually a lot of advantages to being short. Like, you'll never hit your head on door frames, and,
That just gave me an
Still
idea.
growing!
now I
You gotta
gotcha.
control the elements, right?
Yeah.
You can control their temperature
Ah! Oh no! I'm sorry!
and
A
turn
classic
water into
misdirection.
steam.
That's advantage Elric! Ha! Damn it! How's this for small?
Overcompensating for something?
What kind of alchemy is that?
And out, that boy.
Aang would try
Hey,
to
no more
defuse
clappy magic!
Straight to his arm.
definitely
I won't lose you again. There you are!
Jump
Nice try, Shorty!
down.
Whew. Can't believe that worked.
Don't die. Literally don't quarter.
This ends now! At least I'm taller than you.
Really? Seriously?
You left me no choice.
You serious for sure?
See? Kiyoshi! I told you!
Looks
Kiyoshi!
like Ed didn't
Hey.
have a leg to stand on. Or arm, I guess.
Kiyoshi.
Ed may have been more quick-witted and inventive, and he certainly had more combat experience. But Aang's bending abilities were far more versatile and readily available than combat alchemy.
Yeah, it had cool
Did he
stuff
have
like
more
cannons
combat
and gun
experience?
trumpets, but Aang was fast enough to
Really?
react to lightning,
The Avatar
which is
was fighting,
way faster
like,
than dodging a
almost every
measly
show.
bullet.
Recall how Ed survived an explosion that destroyed most of a 10-story
And
building.
the main reason
By
why
examining the size of the building and thus the volume of the conical explosion, this blast must have equaled about 30
so they don't
kilotons
know
of
what to
TNT.
expect.
That's cool, but
They
Aang did
also
way
can't
more
see
when he carved up a
because
circle around that
the
city in
air was
Avatar
animated
state.
for the viewers
The
to be
force
able
to
see
blast
it.
such a huge ravine around the city of Yu Dao was a massive undertaking. By measuring the width, length, and depth of the affected area compared to the size of the city, we found it would take almost 160 kilotons of TNT to pull that off.
More than 5 times greater than Ed's best durability feat. So Aang definitely had the stuff to crush Ed's automail arm and the rest of him.
Granted, Ed could reach this sort of power by sacrificing his life force. Remember Kimbley's explosion, the one empowered by a Philosopher's Stone, a blast worth 157 kilotons of TNT? That's almost identical to Aang's feat, and theoretically, Ed could have been capable of this level of power. Theoretically. However, a Philosopher's Stone uses many souls, while Ed could only draw from his one. Not to mention, drawing from his own life force meant his power-up had a very short and dangerous duration limit compared to the Avatar state, which has no such limit. But even so, Ed's tactics and creativity kept him in the fight, yet the Avatar's speed, power, and versatility was too much for him. Aang may be a pacifist in canon and would hardly kill anyone, but unleashing his full power is a sight to behold.
Just when Ed thought he had the hang of it, he
You were
alchemist
so excited
the mark.
about that.
The winner is Avatar Aang.
Two
Thanks
of
for
my
watching this
Avatar
episode of Death
characters
Battle. If you want the
won.
battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below.
And if you'd like to see some more battle and death, make sure to click the link over there.
Let's ride.
Ghost Rider versus Bobo.
Alright guys, I'm Princess Gamer.
You going out already? Like I was like sitting there like I want to talk about the fight.
You wanna say something?
I thought it was pretty cool, and I like I said, I explained that Aang's abilities were, for the most part, like they were greater in power, and they backed me up on that. Granted, as I said, Ed's abilities gave him more versatility with what he could do with chemistry and bio and whatnot. But when you can just manipulate the elements like that, the way he can, like, I don't understand. They limited Ed and what he could do. Like, he could have pulled Mustangs if he got ignition cloth and just, you know. That's the one thing I never got about anime. Like, I get it, but I in a realistic term, I don't. Like, okay, Mustang had ignition cloth, and he would just snap and create the fire and explosions and whatnot. Why didn't Ed just shift his hand to be like a flint and tinder, and every time he snapped, create explosions like friggin' Mustang? And he could have thrown lightning. He had, I'm pretty sure, his magnets and stuff in his arm. He could have used something to ionize his arm and draw in loose electrons from the atmosphere and then redirect that. And just, he had more abilities than what people think he has. It's just.
And then if he did shoot the lightning, Aang would just
He could have redirected it, yeah.
redirected.
But what I'm saying is Ed had versatility versus Aang's just raw power. But even Ed, like I just explained, they didn't give him everything he could have used because of anime. Like, oh, we have to have this special. Only you can use this move. And things that are right, once a character learns it, and then another character wants to learn it, that character learns it too. Like, yeah, I don't want. It's not their techniques that make them special. It's their personalities and relationships that make them special, and the things that are right.
Katang. Zutara, I'm with both. A little more Zutara than Katang, but it is what it is.
But that's all I gotta say about that.
Suki and Sokka forever.
You gonna do the outro?
Alright guys, I'm Princess Gamer, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm King Sway, and as she said, I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.